Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Escape Pod. Thank you so much for escaping with us. That's Andrew, and I'm Alex.
And as always, with great power comes great David Corn Sweat ability. We've been really working hard on this.
Yes.
It's been a long time coming. We
Yes.
put it out into the universe. We have a very special guest today. It is David Corn Sweat's crotch.
Bang.
Boom. Look at that. We love it. We can just reach over and touch it. That's weird. That's weird. I won't do that. But we're
really not a good idea if we want to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, our campaign to get him on the podcast is get a cardboard cut out of him and then just grope him. Yeah, we're not going to do that. That's weird. We respect Superman.
Yes, we do.
It's kind of sexy. Did they send this to us or you bought this?
I bought this.
Oh, okay. I thought we were cool enough.
No. We're nowhere near cool enough. But plus,
they're not going to send us the actual David Corn Sweat. They won't even send us a cardboard cutout of David Corn Sweat.
I had to pay for it. I paid top dollar for this thing.
All right, we got some stuff to do today.
Yes.
We're going to review the new How to Train Your Dragon.
That's correct.
We're going to go ahead and tell you, we're not going to spoiler alert it. It's based on an animated movie from 10 years ago.
2010, yeah.
So, we'll just review it. We're going to do a trivia segment.
Correct.
People have been asking for Shark Tank again. We're going to do a Shark Tank segment. People have also been asking for Wavelength, which we might do on the Patreon.
Correct.
We'll have a fan segment. We'll answer some of your questions. We got some news. And speaking of the Patreon,
yes,
Apple likes effing with people.
Apple, it's funny. I have an iPad. I have an iPhone. You have an iPad. We have several iPhones. iMac.
Everything is filmed on this. I have two on an iPhone. I have two Macs. I have an iPad. Have an iPhone. The only thing I don't have is an Apple Watch.
I don't have a watch either, but Rachel has a watch, and Rachel has the big headphones that were $600.
Oh, the noise canceling things?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that we are such loyal Apple consumers, considering how often they fuck us in the butt.
I like how you censored butt and didn't say
ass,
but you didn't censor
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything that led to that decision?
No, I just
you just thought it sounded funny.
They've completely screwed us again.
So, a while ago,
yes,
we were. I was on a call, and it was explained to me from Patreon that iOS, because it's on the App Store, some of the charges will be a little bit different because iOS has to take a cut, or they're implementing that now.
With the Patreon app.
Right. So because it's an in-app purchase, Apple is taking a cut of that.
Yes.
So you subscribing to the Patreon requires more money to go to Apple. So the rate at which the cost of subscribing to the Patreon is higher if you do it through an app on an iPhone.
Yes.
So if you saw that prices increased this past week, I think that's when it went into effect. That was not us.
Yes.
That was Apple.
Yes.
Everything is still $3, $5, $10, $20.
Yes.
So if you want to still use the app, that's fine. But if you want to sign up and keep the same
price,
just go on the website.
You're going to sign up on the website and then log in on the app, and then it's not a problem.
That should be how it works.
So we just wanted to give that quick PSA before we get into the episode, just because that's kind of a pain in the butt, and we wanted to give that
pain
PSA.
In the
ass.
There you go.
Great work, though. Great work explaining. I thought you really explained that well. All right, let's start entertaining them before they all
okay.
quit. Hot seat.
You want me to juggle something, or?
Sure. Here. What if I just threw my phone?
I would have caught it and I would have juggled it. Give it to me. Give me one.
Speaking of
Give me your mug.
No way. Wow, this is pretty exciting.
Consider yourself entertained.
Very entertaining.
Let's do a quick hot seat. You want to do a 2-3 minute version?
2 minutes. Let's do it.
Right.
I'm going to start.
You're starting? Hit it.
Opened the other app again. The
clock.
Calculator.
All right, yeah.
Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
What are my questions? I think I've got questions prepared. Let me be slightly professional.
I got nothing.
All right. Well, you can do. Oh, here. I've got a great question to start. 3, 2, 1. The other day, you played Hot Seat with many of your friends, and I wasn't present there. And I've been told by everybody there that you said very nice things about me. I want to know what you said about me.
Let me try and remember. Basically, they were like, "What's the best part of working with Alex?" I think, and I said, dude, I can't. I said 2 or 3 things, and I think you've heard some of these things before. Basically, I mentioned how well you do the TikTok, and I also said it's refreshing because we both care about it, and we both come in, and it's not like I'm having to drag you along, you're not having to drag me along. We're both at capacity working,
Yeah.
making sure things get done. We both care about the Patreon. We both care about the episodes. We both care about the nerdy stuff that we're talking about. So me not having to, sometimes I'm like more in charge with some of the things, but like I'm not having to like be like, come on, Alex.
Yep.
If anything, sometimes it's the other way around because
Yes.
I want to take a nap.
Correct.
So that, the TikTok, and then I think I said, you know, the banter and just like the entertainment, like the podcast just wouldn't. I think it requires both of us, and I think you find what you are entertaining.
Thank you, buddy.
I think
appreciate it.
there was one or two things that maybe I missed, but yeah,
Thank you, buddy. You're wearing Gojo hoodie,
Yeah.
crew neck. Is that
Yeah.
from Box Lunch?
it is.
Shout out Box Lunch.
I bought it literally like yesterday or the day
Very
before.
nice.
Yeah.
It looks very good on you. The light blue is a sharp color.
I
for
like
you.
it. I also bought a Don shirt, and I wanted to buy like a My Hero or a Demon Slayer shirt, but I didn't like any of the ones that they had, unfortunately.
Box
They also
Lunch.
had a solo leveling one.
But you didn't like that one either?
No, it had Egress, the blood red on it, but it was all in the back. I want something on the front that you guys can see.
Box Lunch, get your shit together. Put shit on the front.
Yeah, I was talking to the guy about it. He's like, yeah, we had 2 Demon Slayer, or 2 solo leveling. One of them sold out completely. We haven't gotten any more in. I went in there to buy something else for someone else, and then I ended up buying 2 things for myself.
Very nice. Did you still buy something for somebody else?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was with them. They bought their thing. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Was that a prize for a trivia event? Or
No, but I might go to a convention this weekend and do some of that.
Oh, what convention?
Nostalgia Con?
Oh, is that in Anaheim this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah, I need content for Wafello. So I need to go.
Well, you know,
I'll be going tomorrow.
You should bring Jake.
Oh, I already texted him about it.
Okay. Do you mind if I join? That sounds
No,
like
yeah.
it would be fun.
Come tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be fun. All right, last question. Well, I brought up the Gojo thing because I wanted to say solo leveling main character.
Yeah, Jinwoo.
Jinwoo. Gojo. Tanjiro. Okay? Eren Yeager. All right? And now we're going to throw in 2 non-anime characters. So you're
Okay.
going to be ranking these 6 characters based on aura.
Okay.
I'm throwing in Caesar from Planet of the Apes.
Frick.
And I'm throwing in Darth fucking Vader.
Frick. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So rank those 6 characters based on aura.
So Darth.
Darth Vader, Caesar, Gojo, Tanjiro, Jinwoo from Solo Leveling, and Eren Yeager.
Oh, frick.
Aura.
Okay. All right. Let's go through this. We're going to do an easy one at the bottom. That's going to be Tanjiro.
Okay.
Okay.
But he's the nicest guy on
He's
this
the
list.
nicest. He's sweet. He's hardworking. All that. But, like, he's not aura farming.
Okay,
Like, in some of
yeah.
his fights, sure. But
Yeah.
he's more just, like, being the best guy on the planet.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you have to be a little bit of a douchebag to aura farm. You know what I mean?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. So let's put him at the bottom.
Okay.
All right. Next. Dang. I might put Gojo.
Wow. Gojo's pretty low.
Which sounds crazy.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's got cool outfits. He's got the cool glasses.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and there are moments where like he's literally laughing at people as he's just like absolutely
Wrecking
them,
Yep.
and it's kind of freaking awesome.
Wrecking them in the a-hole, potentially?
In the a-hole, potentially. Yeah, he explodes it.
They're a-hole.
Yeah. Yeah. Domain expansion.
Wait, cut to David Cornsweat's crotch? Thank you for that
What do you
interesting
think about
perspective.
What do you think about?
David Cornsweat's crotch.
Next, I'm gonna go Caesar.
Caesar lower than I expected. I kind of expected Aaron to be in this range.
Aaron's probably gonna be next.
Okay.
I think the top 2 have to be Darth Vader and Jinwoo.
Okay.
Aaron has some moments.
Yeah.
He literally kills 80% of the planet. I don't know if that's aura.
True.
But when he's shirtless and like putting on a trench coat thing and literally speaking to everyone on the planet through his like powers, his mind control powers, and is just like, sorry guys, I gotta go do this. it's a lot of aura there. But
Is there a piece of clothing that gives somebody more aura than a trench coat? Think about Andor's trench coat.
I know.
Think about
so good.
Luthen's trench coat.
If you can pull it off, it can make you look goofy if you can't pull it off.
Who is somebody that can't pull off a trench coat? I can't think of anybody off the dome. I probably couldn't pull off a trench coat, but that's why I don't try.
You think I could? No.
No.
We should try. 1,700 patrons. And then But Aaron also has moments where like he's a whiny little crybaby.
Ooh.
Especially in the first season, and then there's like one part in the last episode where he's literally crying over a girl, and he kind of
after he genocided,
and he's literally talking about like why he had to do it and what makes him sad because he had to do it, and he like, and then like Armin kind of like punches him in the face and is like, "Can you get it together?" But I'm still putting him there. And then it's a toss-up between Darth Vader and Jinwoo. I'm going to give it to Darth Vader because he's Darth Vader.
Yeah.
But Jinwoo's going to be second.
All right.
Yeah.
Solid. So
that's a good question.
Recite this list for me real quick.
So it goes Tanjiro.
Okay.
Oh, at the top. Darth Vader, Jinwoo, Eren Yeager, Caesar, Gojo, Tanjiro.
Fabulous.
Gojo could probably be higher. I could switch him. I could put him above Eren, to be honest, because of certain moments. He never loses aura. Eren loses it sometimes. So maybe I'd just swap him and Eren.
Rank these 6 on how nice they are.
Oh, well, Darth Vader's at the bottom.
Yeah, well, Darth Vader or Aaron? Aaron is responsible.
Oh, frick.
Who is responsible for more death? I mean, Darth Vader does kill children. Does Aaron kill children? Oh, he does. He has to during the rumbling,
you
right?
literally see children get stepped on.
All right, so rank these people on niceness.
And then there's a moment in the last episode where like a bunch of a town or like a bunch of people are like on the edge of a cliff running away from Aaron's rumbling, and like people are falling off the cliff like to their deaths, like trying to protect themselves, and a mom with her literal baby is like passing her baby off to like other people as she falls, and the humanity is like keeping the baby alive to show you like they're still good in humanity, but they're all like still dying. It's crazy. There's some crazy scenes in that show.
Whoa.
You should watch it. Based on niceness. Okay, Tanjiro's at the top.
Yep.
Gojo, Jinwoo, they're all kind of nice.
All right. But Tanjiro's number one.
Tanjiro blows them all out of the water. Then Caesar's nice. He's just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Eren and Darth Vader are going to be at the bottom.
You're putting Eren nicer than Darth Vader?
No, because of one scene. There's one scene, obviously the rumbling. Okay. But let's say Darth and Eren they literally blow up Alderaan, so maybe that cancels out.
Darth Vader's a bad guy.
There's a scene where Eren has to turn his friends against him, and it's one of my least favorite things in Attack on Titan because he wants them to think he's the bad guy so that they come. It's very complicated. But like basically his 2 best friends since they were kids come to him and they're like, let's figure this out. And he literally tells them, I hate you. Like, you only act like this because all these reasons. And then he literally punches Armin in the face and like treats him like garbage. And it was for a reason, and they kind of explain it, so it makes it better. But I hated Eren so much in that scene, and he was so mean in that scene. I'll give it to him. He's the meanest.
Below Darth Vader. All right.
That was a lot of yapping.
There you go.
Let's go to you.
Yeah. Quick 2 minutes. I got it.
Okay.
Already got the app open. No, I don't. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
What superhero, if their crotch was next to you, would you most want to like give it a little poke?
Oh, give a poke is a different answer than I thought you were going with. I'd be fascinated by the superheroes that have like abilities that like, what does their skin feel like?
Like Plastic Man.
Plastic Man's up there. Mr. Fantastic is up there. Martian Manhunter is up there.
Would you just go straight through?
Exactly. Metamorpho. Who will be in the Superman movies up there. Yeah, just the generally like weird looking guys.
Who's cuter, Stitch or Toothless?
That's a great question. It's a great question.
It's tough.
That's a great question.
I think it's a great question.
Have I mentioned that's a great question? It's a great question.
In your opinion.
Stitch? God, I love Stitch. But do I love Stitch for his cuteness? I think I love Toothless for his cuteness. I've said before, those are my 2 favorite animated movies from those studios. DreamWorks, How to Train Your Dragon, and Disney. Lilo and Stitch from Disney. So this is a brutal fight for me. But for me, I think I like Stitch more for how funny he's is.
He's comedic, yeah.
Then Toothless, I do think Toothless is just adorable. So I'll go Toothless.
Fair answer.
Uh-huh.
At the time of this podcast coming out, have the Panthers played again?
They will play the 3rd game of the series tonight. It is 1-1.
Okay, so it's 1-1 as this episode is coming out.
Yes.
How's Rachel doing?
Last night was tough.
I mean, both of them were tough. They almost went. Did it go to? It went to double overtime.
Last night went to double overtime.
And
the first game went to overtime.
Yeah.
And you have to consider, we have played this team in the finals 7 games last year.
So this is the same 2 teams?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and it's in none of those 7 games went to overtime. Both of these games have gone to overtime. The second one being double overtime. It's a stressful series. I mean, Rachel's being so mean to everybody. Half the house is mad at Rachel. And half the house is mad at me. Fair. Yeah, it's a bit of a stressful series. Feeling good.
I mean, the fact that it's 1-1.
1-1.
It started 1-0.
Both games were in Edmonton.
Yeah, exactly.
So now we come home. You should defend home ice, win both games at home, and then we're up 3-1. Most teams that go up 3-1 win. So I'm feeling good, confident. We're not the best home team in the world. So a little bit stressed about that. But look, it's been great hockey. The last game, many people are saying it's the best hockey game of all time. So... like, I'm thoroughly entertained, which is something that is good for sports.
Is there any... One of the reasons people are mad is the why?
What people are mad? Who?
The house.
Yeah, Rachel and I are very superstitious.
Right. So is there any superstition that you are looking forward to continuing in the next couple games, or that the house needs to do?
Yeah, I've got a weird one.
Okay.
I've got a weird one. So first of all, nobody's going to watch with us this next game.
Okay.
We'll send a text blast. It's just anybody that sat and joined us, even for a millisecond, something bad happened in the game, so nobody's going to be... But here's one that I started last year with the Rams. A lot of people have like a lucky hat or a lucky shirt or a lucky sweater or whatever. I found that my teams do better if I wear an article of clothing for the team that I haven't worn while they're playing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, like last year, I wore a bunch of different Rams things. And then the last game of the year, the Eagles game, I wore the same thing that I wore for the Vikings game, and we lost. So this playoff run, I've tried to avoid wearing the same thing. So I've actually been in an ordering frenzy of ordering new Panther stuff to make sure I have new stuff to wear for the games.
So you have something for Monday?
I do. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I've got a couple options, actually. This hat I haven't worn for a Panthers game. I just bought this hat, so yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. There you go. Good hot seat. What are we doing now? How to Train Your Dragon?
Did you want to do any news?
Yes, I do. Sorry. Thank you for reminding me.
I know. No problemo.
You hear about, what's her face?
That's a good one.
I know. You hear about Mikey Madison?
No.
All right, Mikey Madison, she just won the Oscar for Honora.
Yeah.
She's a great actress. She turned down a villain role in Sean Levy's Star Wars movie, Starfighter, with Ryan Gosling. She turned down the villain role. They gave it to Mia Goth.
Yeah, from X.
Yes, and Pearl and Maxine.
Yeah, that I saw.
And swimming pools or whatever, infinity pool, whatever. That's interesting. The thing I want to say, it's apparently about a pay dispute, which is fascinating that Mikey Madison is like, you're not giving me enough for this Star Wars movie, so I'm saying no. Very interesting. So it's interesting in 2 ways. They're not giving nearly as much money to Star Wars as they used to anymore. And that we're going with female villain in Star Wars, which we haven't really done properly.
There's in what was it, Obi-Wan? The Inquisitor
you're
was
talking
female.
about Reva.
Yeah, Reva.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but other than that,
most of them are not.
I mean, there's the
Asajj Ventress.
Asajj Ventress, but she's a secondary villain.
None in the movies. There's no...
Correct. Yeah. Right. They're the shows. The Ahsoka villain. What's her name? Mother Talzin? Mother Talzin is the...
Don't know.
Sorcerer witch from Clone Wars. I'm forgetting...
Don't know.
This one. But yeah, you get what I mean. Like, it's just... So that I think is interesting, but I do think it's interesting that they're just... Another reason why I believe that this movie and Star Wars movies won't happen. Unfortunately.
They announce another casting, and now you're doubling down on the fact that it's not happening.
Correct.
Interesting.
So speaking of Star Wars, have you heard this Dave Filoni drama?
That he's in talks to replace Kathleen Kennedy?
Yes, which we knew. But then a lot of people don't want him to do it. One Disney insider said... somewhere he's too steeped in Star Wars lore, and it risks giving him the job risks the brand losing broader audiences. And then they followed it up with this quote: He's not the Andor guy. He's the Ahsoka guy. Brutal. And he was behind the scenes one of the biggest critics of Andor, saying that Disney shouldn't spend so much money on it because nobody would give a fuck. Obviously,
He's
people...
not wrong.
Well, no. Now Andor's tremendously popular.
Is it?
Yeah, thankfully. Thanks to
Season 2?
Yeah. Really ramped it up. It's actually the fourth most or something viewed thing on the Nielsen
Because
chart
season
or
1
something.
wasn't.
No. Certainly not. But so it's interesting. I don't know.
I mean, they should have given that budget to something like Obi-Wan.
I 100% agree.
I love Andor. But
Me
like...
too. No, it's my biggest criticism of Andor is that it's like, why did we give a fuck about this one and not the others?
Yeah.
No, it's interesting.
Too bad season 2 sucks.
No, it doesn't.
According to our comments, that's what we think.
Yes, yeah.
In your opinion.
Yeah. My only complaint is that we didn't get more.
Season 2 does not suck.
Another piece of news. You heard Thunderbolts. So Thunderbolts is on track to end its theatrical run by earning $380 million to $390 million globally. That is a lower sum than Black Adam and Eternals.
Rookie numbers.
That's really bad.
Especially when compared to like things like Megan 2.0.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You think Megan 2.0 is making more than Thunderbolts?
Of course.
I'll bet you good money that doesn't happen.
Of course not. But I've got to live in my delusion now.
Do you think that Thunderbolts' poor box office performance will reflect poorly on Fantastic Four, or do you think Fantastic Four is a whole different thing?
It's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Whole different thing.
You saw that the early ticket sales crashed the websites or whatever?
Of Fandango, AMC, and Regal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't...
I have some if you... I assume we're going to see it early, but like I can... Maybe. But I have some on the Thursday night opening weekend if you want to grab some for yourself.
Yeah.
I've got some for my AMC squad, but if the house wants to come, we should make that happen.
Yeah, 100%. Bless you. But yeah, so you don't think the Thunderbolts...
I mean, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four is way more popular. Thunderbolts was like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much Guardians made, but...
Guardians 1? Let's check.
I think Guardians is better than Thunderbolts.
But none of the Guardians have made $1 billion, which is weird to think about.
And they're so popular.
I know.
Which one made
Groot is everywhere.
I wonder which one made the most.
The original Guardians made 770. Mm-hmm. Volume 2 made 870. And Volume 3 made 850. So Volume 2, the worst one, is the highest grossing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate.
I saw that coming.
Because it was Prime MCU.
It was Prime MCU, Baby Groot, and it was coming off the back of Guardians 1, which was like such a out of the left field, so people were ready for the second one.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
All right. You want to hop into any How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
You want to give it a score out of 10?
I do.
Okay.
I don't.
I will.
Okay.
Unless you don't want me to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Yeah. We'll do it.
How to Train Your Dragon live action, score out of 10.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10.
I will not give it a score.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm kind of right there with you because... Okay, so I want to do my pros first. Can I? Wait.
Absolutely. Oh.
They gave us this last night at IMAX headquarters. Shout out IMAX.
Shout out IMAX. Always shout out IMAX on this podcast, but like...
What, you got a problem with this?
I mean, you're looking pretty horny.
Hilarious. But How to Train Your Dragon live action overall is great. There's one major issue that we both have with it. We'll get to that. But I've seen it twice now, and I was tearing up and or pumping my fist in the air out of excitement at different points in the movies, both times.
Yeah.
There's not a second of How to Train Your Dragon live action that does not look amazing to me. There's literally like 1 second where I was like, But everything else, the dragons, the sky, the Burke, the flying, everything looks amazing. So if you're worried about that, don't be. We've had a lot of problems with CGI in the MCU and live action remakes and everything. Like Stitch obviously looks good, and Toothless looks just as good or better, and so do all the dragons, to be honest. So yeah. If you're worried that they're doing like they ruined the franchise, I don't think they did that because every How to Train Your Dragon fan that I've seen it with We've gone with people who obviously love How to Train Your Dragon. I went with someone who's like, that's one of their favorite animated movies of all time. They were crying, they were tearing up. Everyone we've talked to has really enjoyed it. They nailed the test drive scene. So if you're worried about that, I know that's one of some people's favorite musical score of any animated movie and favorite scene from any animated movie. They nailed that scene. That's one of the scenes where I was just on the edge of my seat pumping the air because it was so good. So all that to say, I had a lot of fun with it. I think most people will enjoy it. It's not a disappointment per se. Looks great, feels great. The number one issue that we both have, I assume, is the fact that How to Train Your Dragon live action, the remake, why does it exist? It does not have enough original components in and of itself to justify
its existence,
standing on its own or existing. In a lot of ways, it is a shot-for-shot remake, which in some ways is a positive because you don't want them to change too much or take things out that you care about. But at the same time, one of the reasons to do a live action is to do something at least a little bit new or give it a reason to exist. There's almost nothing that is different from the original.
My main thing I want to say is I just agreed with everything you just said. The How to Train Your Dragon live action film from 2025 will be so many people's favorite live action of all time.
Yeah.
If you have been looking for, hey, I loved this animated movie when I was a child, but I've always wanted to see it in live action and I want it to be shot for shot. If you are one of those people, this is exactly what you've wanted your entire life. I actually saw a video pretty recently from a big content creator that was complaining about that. That was like, why can't they ever just make shit shot for shot? I don't care that they made Ariel black, just make Ariel shot for shot.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's pretty anti-art, but whatever. So for many people, they will adore this. And so I don't want my thoughts on this movie to take away from this, but and I understand it's the original director, Dubois, I think is his name. Like he worked on the original films. He was like, I don't want you guys to do this, but if you are absolutely going to do it, then I want to be the director so that I make sure you don't fuck anything up. They did not fuck anything up. It's wonderful because the original is wonderful, but it's so shot for shot. Like, to the point where there are gags that they do in the animated movie that I feel are meant for animated films. There is a joke in the movie where one of the characters is the dragon falls on him, and it's a silly moment in the animated, but if a dragon fell on somebody in real life, it would probably kill them, especially a dragon as big as this one. But it's played for laugh because it's a cartoon. It's like Looney Tunes. They come in, they got the thing sticking out of their head, right? The bum sticking out of their head. They do that joke. It's actually a shot-for-shot joke. The framing of the camera is the same. And they do that joke, and it just doesn't work for me in live action at all because it's like that would kill him, hypothetically, if we're taking a realistic approach to this.
Sure.
So, but like I said, so many people will be happy. Overall, other than what I just said, my biggest takeaway is that the live-action How to Train Your Dragon movie made me realize that I am now officially anti all live-action remakes, which I've already said that I'm anti live-action remakes. I've said that multiple times here on the podcast. I've never paid to go see one. The only 3 live-action remakes I've seen is Mufasa, if it counts. Technically, it's a prequel. And Snow White and How to Train Your Dragon, because I was invited to screenings or premieres for Snow White and Mufasa, and this we saw at CinemaCon for free. I didn't go see Lilo and Stitch because I didn't get invited to an event, so I would have had to pay for it. I will not pay to support these live-action remakes. So I've already taken that stance, but I'm taking that stance even harder. Because do you remember when the live-action Avatar The Last Airbender came out last year? One of my biggest complaints was how they butchered the Storm arc, right? Where I was like, you did this out of order, that was not the way to introduce it, whatever. And essentially, I was clamoring for them to have done it exactly the way that the animated show did it. And yet here, I'm watching the How to Train Your Dragon movie, and I'm complaining that they did it perfectly and shot for shot. So I'm just anti this as a concept. I think it's anti-art, even though I've always thought it was anti-art. I'm gonna put my foot in the ground and say I don't think I'll ever be able to support one of these projects.
Yeah, I mean, doing a live action remake is tough because you want a healthy dose of it being the same and you not changing too much, but then also giving you some new stuff. One of my favorite things about the Atla live action Netflix one is the new stuff that they added. Not the stuff that they changed, because that kind of bothered me. Obviously, the change in the Cave of Two Lovers and stuff with the storm, awful. But some of the stuff they added with Zuko's backstory and the stuff in the Fire Nation was actually some of the cool stuff that I thought made the show a little bit worth it. So adding new stuff to a live action or changing some things isn't necessarily terrible. You need to do that a little bit while also keeping the soul of the original. So it's kind of like, don't do it shot for shot. Don't change too much. You have to find this middle ground. And even then, it's tough.
One of your favorite scenes was the Gyatso scene in the live-action Atla, where he finally tells this kid it's not your fault.
Yeah.
If you would have been there, it's good that you weren't there because you would have died.
Yeah, in the spirit world. Yeah, it's really good. So I totally get what you're saying about the live actions. Like, I've never been gung-ho about them. I've always thought they're kind of weird. But it is interesting because it does somewhat reintroduce some people to them. It was very surprising to me. There are multiple people our age who we see at these screenings all the time who have not seen the original. Yep. And obviously, I would have advised them to see the original first.
Yes.
But I talked to them before and after. They were like, I haven't seen the original. And then they came out of this one liking it, and they were like, I want to go back and watch the original. So that is a positive that can come from these.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is reintroducing people to these new characters, even people our age, apparently, who haven't seen it, freaking fix that.
Yep.
While also introducing some younger people to it, and hopefully they go back and watch the originals as well. In my opinion, the How to Train Your Dragon live action is the best live action that we've ever gotten.
Yeah.
Even though it's a shot for shot, and for things like Lion King, which I thought was even more shot for shot, for some reason it works better in this one. So in my opinion, it's the best. And like I said, I've seen it twice. We saw it at CinemaCon, and then I got an early screening for IMAX. I saw it in IMAX. At CinemaCon, it was in like not a stadium, but like a
giant theater.
A giant theater. We were sitting very far away. This theater was a lot closer. It was IMAX. It was huge, and it was even more fun. And there was a couple of scenes that they weren't in the. I thought I was tripping, but then I talked to Connor about it, and there was a scene or two that was in this one that were pretty good. So see it in IMAX if you can. See it on a big screen. I enjoyed it even more the second time I saw it because of that.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's what we've got to say about it. I don't, overall I'm not pro this concept, but I am glad that you liked it, and I know so many people will love it. And, you're supporting art in some capacity, I guess.
Do you want to... We got trivia, Shark Tank, and fan segment.
Let's do trivia.
You want to do trivia?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen up.
So you've got some trivia for me.
I've got some trivia for you.
All right.
There's 15.
Okay.
How many do you think you should get?
Well, I don't know what the topic is.
So the topic is TV or movie media that has come out this year. There's three things that I'm picking. There's 5 questions for each.
Okay, all right.
10, 11, 12?
I say I'm going to get 9. Baseline is
Let's
9.
do 10.
All right, we'll do 10.
We'll do 10. I don't have a punishment or anything. Maybe the patrons will decide. A small punishment. This doesn't have to be anything huge.
Yeah.
And I will have some sort of trivia challenge for the audience at home who's watching.
Oh, fun.
To play along, and they might get a prize. Okay.
Here we go. You're testing my knowledge here. Here we go. Let's go.
Number 1.
Yep.
The first 5 are Superman.
Shit. All right.
Who is playing Superman in the upcoming movie?
Oh, David Cornsweet.
That is correct. 1 for 1.
Uh-huh.
Cut to his crotch. What is Superman's alien name?
Kal-El.
You're 2 for 2.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job.
All right, we're okay. I'm feeling okay right now.
What is Superman's number 1 weakness?
Kryptonite.
Incorrect. It is Martha. The word Martha.
Not.
2 for
That's
3.
actually very much not true.
It's Batman's weakness.
Batman's weakness. You've been out nerded, my friend.
Correct. Okay, I'll give it to you. 3 for 3. What is Superman's release date?
July 11th, 2025.
That is correct. That is correct. 4 for 4.
Even though you can see it on July 10th.
Yes.
That's the Thursday.
10th is the Thursday?
Yeah, Friday is the 11th. Isn't that weird?
They always do that.
Yeah, I just think that's weird.
Yeah, no, and you can sometimes see it at like 2 p.m. on Thursday, but they always say the release date's the next day. Who voices Superman in the animated series?
The newest animated series?
Superman the animated
Oh,
series.
yeah, no. I'm going to tell you that Jack Quaid is him in the newest Superman,
Sure.
but I can't tell you the original.
He's in Justice League
Yeah,
Unlimited.
not happening.
Tim Daly?
No.
Daly.
No.
All right.
Don't feel bad about that at all.
4 for 5.
Yeah. He's great, though. Tim is great.
No, he's great.
Yeah.
Okay, next. The next 5 are
Yeah.
Thunderbolts.
Oh, okay, cool.
There is an animal shown in Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
What kind is it?
It's a guinea pig.
Yeah, hamster,
Yeah,
gerbil, that
yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah. 5 for 6. Finish the quote.
Okay.
This has makings of team that can raise to glory, bring light from darkness. This team can be the heroes on.
The Wheaties box.
That is correct.
Yeah.
6 for 7. Valentina Allegra de Fontaine
Yeah.
is the director of what?
The CIA.
That's correct. 7 for 8. You're doing great.
Yeah. And Ox.
You need 3 more.
Yeah.
Of all the members of the Thunderbolts,
Yeah.
this is the one that if they punched me in the face, I would be most likely to say yes, thank you, please do it again.
Ooh, this is a good question. You're a huge Bucky fan, but I think I'd be remiss if I didn't give this to Florence Pugh. Yelena.
Yelena is correct.
Yeah.
Nice work. That is correct. 8 for 9. What is Ghost's real name?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Ava. But do I need her last name? I'm never going to get the last name. It's Ava.
I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
Ava Starr.
Fuck no. I was never
9 for 10.
Never getting that.
Last 5.
Yeah.
Phineas and Ferb is back.
Oh, fuck you. I thought for sure this was Andor. I was like, oh, we're going to cook.
What season just released on Disney Plus
5.
this past weekend? That is
Yeah,
correct.
5.
What do Phineas and Ferb build on their first episode?
Roller coaster.
Correct.
Yeah.
If I was Dr. Doofenshmirtz,
All right.
what innator would I build? I have 3 options.
All right. A shut up hat guy because you're making a bad takeinator.
That's a good one. I did not write that one down.
Damn it.
That was my next option.
Shit. What are the... Okay.
I'll give you 2 more guesses.
Okay. All right. A... some kind of shrimpinator that provides you with an endless amount of shrimp.
Also incorrect, but that's
it.
also a good guess. Last one.
Dang it. All right. A burn all of the Zutara fans alive-inator.
That's number 3.
Yes! Yes! At the buzzer. What are the other 2 you have?
It was a Zutara shipper evaporatinator.
Nice.
A Perminator, so I can just
Hilarious.
I don't have, and then find me a girlfriendinator.
Fair.
Yeah. I can't believe you got it. That was nice.
Nice.
Okay. 2 more.
Yeah.
Name the 3 friends that hang out with Phineas and Ferb almost daily.
Buford. Mm-hmm. Isabella. Mm-hmm. Baljeet.
Baljeet is correct. Very nice. Nice. Last one. You've only missed 1. You're cooking.
I'm the GOAT!
You're cooking. I can't believe
And I don't feel bad about missing Tim at all. No disrespect to Tim.
I wouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah.
Last one.
Yeah.
What movie should everyone go see because it will be such a great, fun, entertaining summer flick?
Megan 2.0.
That is correct! I'll take this off. We're not talking about How to Train Your Dragon.
I should have burned that. I should have said F1 or Avatar: The Way of Water or something. I had a guess to give.
On my list, I had How to Train Your Dragon. And that was like supposed to be on my list higher than Megan 2.0. I had just accidentally swapped them.
Yeah,
I think if I had picked How to Train Your Dragon, I think I would have cooked.
I've got news for you. You did pick How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, did I? I thought my
Yeah.
last one was
That was your
For Good.
last pick.
Oh, I thought Wicked for Good was my last pick.
No, you just needed to not pick Megan.
Yeah.
If you picked...
No. Megan's going to make $2 billion, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
It's doing Avatar: Way of Water numbers.
Easily. I was looking up projected box office for it this morning.
Oh, yeah, what is it?
It's like opening weekend, like 40 million.
Oh, shit. That would be a huge
But
opening weekend
I was
for
reading
you.
an article comparing it to F1 because F1 currently has the same projected box office.
Yeah, I
and
think
they come
so,
out the
too.
same weekend.
I'm not so worried about F1. F1's kind of like my one. It's just the issue is that how much should Megan 2.0 cost to make? Like, what's the budget? it's maybe $10 million.
I don't care.
Like, if we were doing profit, I think that you would crush me.
Really?
You would crush me in terms of profit. Because all of my movies are like
Super
huge
expensive, yeah.
budget movies. F1, I don't think will make its money back.
The article was talking about that.
But F1 has a $400 million budget. There's no way that movie doesn't make $300 million.
Megan's budget was $36 million.
Yeah.
And the first one was $16 million.
Yeah.
So, I hid a URL somewhere in the trivia challenge.
Oh.
If you find the URL, tell me if this is okay. Do the trivia challenge on the URL. First 10 people get free Patreon.
Whoa! Free Patreon! Unless it's through Apple, they're going to charge you $15.
Yeah, do it on the laptop or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're hopping into Shark Tank.
Yeah.
We've got 2 Shark Tanks.
Yep.
Are you prepared with 2?
Sure.
All right. Did you do 2 categories or did you do 1 category in a freestyle?
I did 1 in a freestyle.
Great. So we did 1 in a freestyle. Which one do you want to do first?
Let's do the not freestyle one first.
Yeah, so recently the Oscars, the Academy Awards, introduced a new category for Best Stunts. Of course, they introduced it the year after the last Mission Impossible came out. They better give Tom Cruise a Lifetime Achievement Award. So we have... we are going to be, on this Shark Tank, we're going to be pitching the Academy Awards on...
A new category.
So I'll start.
Okay.
My new category that they should introduce is very simple. It's something that they should already have. It's casting. You need to give an Oscar for best casting. And what I mean by best casting, I want to make this clear. I do not want Wes Anderson for The Phoenician Scheme or The French Dispatch or Asteroid City to win the Oscar for best casting because Tom Hanks is in it and Scarlett Johansson is in it and Benicio del Toro and Michael Cera and Tom Hanks again are in it. That doesn't interest me. A movie like last year's Best Picture winner Nora should win Best Casting. Not only because Mikey Madison gave a great performance that won her the Oscar, but because a lot of that Russian cast, like the boy Vanya that she ends up, like, you know, that she's supposed to be with, and then the guy Igor, and all those guys are unknowns, and they all also give great performances. This would be a good way, a casting Oscar that rewards artists for finding new actors would help the industry exponentially. A movie from a couple years ago called The Holdovers should have won it, because not only did it have a list actor at the helm, and Divine Joy Randolph won the Oscar, but it also had this kid, I forget his name, he's in Now You See Me, Now You Don't, but it was his first acting role, and he was fabulous. We should be encouraging people to get great casts of people that are unknowns. If that was an Oscar bait opportunity to find the best unknown actors, it would be huge for the industry.
So would it be like against policy to give the casting Oscar to someone who is A-list? If you cast an A-list?
If there are A-list actors in the movie, that's fine.
It's for the movie. It's not for a particular role.
Correct. It's the ensemble. The cast overall. I don't want it going to... Like, After Sun from a couple years ago, I would have been fine giving it to, even though Paul Mescal was not an unknown because Normal People was great and a lot of people loved it. But at the time, Paul Mescal was, like, not the most famous guy in the world. But now if they gave it to the Beatles movie... or movies in 2028 or whenever they come out, that would be a problem. Because now Barry Keoghan...
But that casting is potentially really good.
But I don't care. I want it to encourage unknowns. Like, I want the Oscar bait to be, you found unknown actors that were all great. That will drive the industry forward. If you do it based on who got the most A-listers and the new Hunger Games movie wins best casting... Like, that doesn't help anybody. That doesn't help the industry.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, what if there's a movie where the casting is really, really great and it just also happens to be A-list, then people are going to complain.
Yeah, I don't want that.
I know.
I think that
I see what you're going for, and I like it.
I think that the Oscar should be
I like it a lot.
That. Again, like
in your opinion.
In my opinion, yes.
Yeah.
Like the new Wes Anderson movie, The Phoenician Scheme, it's an unbelievable cast. Yeah. But all those guys are A-listers. Like a half the cast is an A-list.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks, A-list. Like maybe not Benicio del Toro or any of those guys, but those guys are all high B-list.
Can I bring something up?
Yeah,
Are you done with your turn?
Please.
What movie were you talking about where it was A-list? And I was disagreeing.
The Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games. So you were talking about
Sunrise of the Reaping or Weeping or something, whatever.
So you were talking about the new Hunger Games movie about how the casting is great, because there's a lot of talented actors in it, and you were calling them A-list, and I was like, they're not A-list. It's
Yep.
still a good cast.
Yeah.
They're just not A-list.
Yeah.
And our comments on TikTok were just like losing their minds.
Yeah,
Being
yeah.
like, these people are so talented. How can you not think they're A-list?
Yeah.
Brother, A-list has nothing to do with talent.
That's
I think
correct.
everyone in the movie is super talented.
Correct.
A-list means your ability, your star power.
There is no universe where Ray Fiennes is more famous than Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but there's also no universe where Dwayne The Rock Johnson is a better actor than Ray Fiennes. The A-list is not a measure of actor.
Yeah.
Mikey Madison, even after her Oscar win, is not an A-list actress, even though she is leaps and bounds better actress than many A-list actresses.
Right.
Yes.
A-list just means you're a movie star. Your bankable ability.
It's a famous
in a movie in the
measure.
movie industry. Yeah. Not
It's a famous measure. It's how famous you are.
yeah.
Yeah. I thought the point you made that none of them were A-list was fair because you don't think Ray Fiennes or Kieran Culkin or Elle Fanning or any of those people are A-list, which
They're famous.
I'm fine with that, but that's not why it's a great cast. It's a great cast because if you look at who they're playing and how accurate
That
they
I agree
are,
with. Sure.
face and on top of how high quality acting they are, many people believe Ray Fiennes deserved the Oscar for Conclave.
Yeah.
Even more people, myself included, believe that he really deserved an Oscar for his performance in Schindler's List.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously some of the best acting we get in the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
And Kieran Culkin, coming off of his Oscar win for Real Pain,
Mm-hmm.
he was incredible in Succession, for everybody that's watched Succession. These are great actors. That's the point. But yeah, that was interesting. I did see a lot of those comments, and I do agree with you mostly.
Yeah. Okay, my Shark Tank. Ready?
Yes, please. For Oscar category.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
You ready?
Yep.
I want a hot and bothered scene Oscar.
Okay.
Where it's just the scene that's just like makes people go like this the most in any movie.
So we're making the MTV Best Kiss Award.
Yeah.
But
an Oscar.
yeah.
So it's the way it's shot. You got to look at the cinematography. You got to look at the acting. You got to look at the script.
How
here.
well it's lit.
How well it's lit.
Yep.
You know, the angles that they're shooting.
Yep.
And what most people are gonna get a little in their seat.
Okay.
Here are some examples.
Yeah, please.
Okay. The Haley Steinfeld drool scene
from
in
Sinners.
Sinners,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Timothy Chalamet screaming silence. That got me hot and bothered. So it doesn't always have to be sexual.
Sure.
It's just what gets you going.
Yeah.
The final scene in Nosferatu.
Absolutely.
Hooking up with oozing Dracula.
Absolutely. That would get my vote.
The entirety of the movie Challengers.
Absolutely agree. If, in our world, Challengers would have an Oscar.
Yes. Ryan Gosling in anything.
La La Land. He's so well dressed.
Florence Pugh in anything.
Nice.
Yeah. Godzilla in anything.
Yeah, sure.
So that's what I want.
Godzilla's an Oscar winner.
Is he? Oh.
-1.
-1. Yeah. I would give him one for being not that design actually. I would need Monster vs. Godzilla.
But the charge up scene
is really hot, but so is the Monsterverse one.
I think the Godzilla -1 charge up scene is better.
I like the sound of the other better.
The sound of the -1 one is still good.
It's still good.
When he just devastates that city.
A nuke. It's crazy.
So cool.
Okay, we wanted to do a random one?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. Can I... Okay, I'll go.
You don't have to start if you don't want
Go
to.
ahead.
All right.
Because mine's another...
All right, yours is another silly one.
Goofy
Mine
fun.
is super serious, all right? You
Okay.
ready? I'm going to save Star Wars with this pitch. You ready?
Okay.
Okay. Everybody is all hot and bothered about Tony Gilroy.
Give him an Oscar.
Absolutely give him an Oscar.
New category.
Andor. Unbelievable casting. Plenty of unknowns in that cast.
Yeah.
All right, so.
No A-listers.
No. Forrest
Skarsgård.
Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker's an A-lister.
A-list?
My argument is that he's an Oscar winner, but that's your point.
There's so many Oscar winners that aren't... I wouldn't consider A-list.
All right.
Not in terms of talent. Okay.
Yeah, no, you're
sorry.
right. I'm back to saving Star Wars.
Save Star Wars for us.
So with this pitch, I'm going to save Star Wars. You ready?
Yes.
So Tony Gilroy is the talk of the town with Star Wars, but he may never, because of Andor, but he may never come back to Star Wars, okay? And you know my opinion. Sorry.
Sorry. Cut to the crotch?
Yeah. You know my opinion about Star Wars and how much it frustrates me that it's become a TV show franchise instead of a movie franchise.
Yes.
So Here's how we save Star Wars. Make a Star Wars movie. I know.
Well,
mind-blowing
mind-blown.
concept in the year of our Lord 2025. Give Tony Gilroy a little break. Let him leave Star Wars, do other projects, whatever his artistic... And I know he wants to direct. So not only is he going to write and produce this movie, he's also going to direct it. It's a sequel to Andor. Okay? Are you familiar with the Battle of Yavin?
Yes.
Everybody's familiar with the Battle of Yavin. BBY.
Yes.
ABY, right? The Battle of Yavin
Before
is the
the Battle
most
of Yavin.
important event in Star Wars, potentially, because it's the first movie ends with the Battle of Yavin, right? The trench run, that's when the first Death Star explodes, right? Are you familiar with the second Battle of Yavin? Or I would like to call it the Massacre of Yavin. The Empire...
Is this still canon, though?
May not be, but this is how we bring it back.
Okay.
This is a little known story. I don't know if it's canon or not. It may be legends at this point, but the Empire is well aware of where Yavin is after the events of New Hope. And in retaliation and frustration for the millions of lives lost on the Death Star in an act of terrorism, the Empire, with all of their might they had left, goes and attacks the shit out of Yavin. And the rebels have to evacuate as quickly as possible, and many, many, many are killed. I would like a Tony Gilroy written and directed Star Wars movie from the perspective of maybe an Imperial or two that maybe lost family on the Death Star or something. I want to show the Massacre of Yavin. I want it to be in full Tony Gilroy brutal fashion. Show how terrible fascism is. Show how terrible the Empire is some more. Have some rebel characters like Willman from Andor continue their story. Show me General Draven, who is in Rogue One, and he's also in the last couple episodes of Andor Season 2. Show me General Draven die a heroic death. Show me the rebels. Give me Genevieve O'Reilly as Mon Mothma again, leading them out of there. Give me Admiral Akbar. Give me Bail Organa. Give me whoever's on Yavin. Oh, Bail Organa's dead. Never mind. Give me whoever is left on those rebels from Andor. Give me storylines that wrap up with them. Get them out of there and have a huge, unbelievable space battle and land battle in Yavin. Give me the animals that you establish are on Yavin from Andor season 2, episode 2 or 3, because that's established that's Yavin. Give me all of that. Give me a jungle battle, everything. Have Tony Gilroy write it. Have Tony Gilroy direct it. Give him $200 million and just let him go. What do you think of that?
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun to watch a Star Wars movie again. And if it's Andor quality, I'd be all for it.
Yep.
So this would be the first Star Wars movie, though. No, it's not, because Rogue One's kind of like that.
Huh.
That would be very not Forcey, not lightsabery.
Yeah. I mean, Solo as well.
Yeah, but Solo at least stars one of the biggest Star Wars characters of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with it.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Yeah. I'm glad you like it.
I like it. I'm still of the, because you saw Andor on the big screen.
It was unbelievable.
And I really think theater should start showing TV shows as sell tickets to that. That's another thing that people would, I think, be willing to do. You know how amazing it would be for me to be able to see Stranger Things season 5 in the theaters? Like, I understood it now that TV is different, because it used to be you get a season every year and it's one per week and they're 20 minutes, 30 minutes long. Now, I mean, Stranger Things, there's 8-9 episodes and every single one of them is like a movie. They're an hour and a half long. Like, show the season finale, show the season premiere in theaters. I think people would come out and do that.
Not only would that help theaters, which is largely a dying industry, unfortunately, but it would really help the streaming services. Netflix bought Knives Out, which was a huge financial success, by the way, at the box office. Knives Out made like $300 million. And they bought the 2 Knives Out sequels and the original Knives Out movie. And they released Glass Onion in theaters for like a fucking week. And I'm sure they're going to release Wake Up Dead Man, but it's going to release for like a fucking week. Like, release these movies for like several weeks. It helps the stream. If that money is going to Netflix, It helps Netflix not lose $1 billion every year.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I mean, at the height of its powers, it's a travesty that the Battle of the Bastards from Game of Thrones wasn't able to be watched in a theater.
Exactly.
Like, it's just a travesty.
It's so much fun watching it like that. Okay, let me get through this.
What's your random pitch?
Yeah, so I just wanted to pitch a video game. It's first, you can switch between first and third person shooter.
Okay.
Players take the role of characters and either of two opposing factions, and they're in different time periods.
All right.
Okay. But here's the twist.
Yeah.
It's based on
Yeah.
Star Wars. Give us Battlefront 3.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. As soon as you opened that
I
up.
said video game. You were like, oh, yeah, this is going to be Battlefront 3.
I was prepared for two options. It was either going to be Battlefront 3, which good on you. Nice work.
Yeah, give us Battlefront 3.
You see the guy that did the billboard?
No.
Somebody bought a billboard, and it says, give us Battlefront 3 or something.
Good on that guy.
I knew it was either going to be Battlefront 3 or a pitch for Megan 2 to make $1 billion.
It's nice. Where is that?
I don't know. But yeah, no, good on you. That was good, Andrew. I like that a lot.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna end off. We got a few minutes left. We're gonna answer some of y'all's questions from fans, and then we'll do a few minutes of that, and then we'll do the rest on a Patreon episode.
Correct.
But these are all from patrons.
Yep.
Deborah Tier got first dibs.
Absolutely.
And then the rest are from any patron. But shout out you guys.
Shout out you guys.
Would you rather watch every film with the Spider-Verse animation, I guess like every animated film, or have every film be scored by Hans Zimmer? Easily scored by Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
I think the Spider-Verse animation is unique, and that shouldn't be every single film ever. I think it would get old. But
animation is moving towards the Spider-Verse animation. Mutant Mayhem, TMNT Mutant Mayhem is that style. So is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and now there's like a K-pop movie coming out that's that animation style. So it is being more popularized, and I did feel when I saw it with the K-pop trailer, I was like, oh, is this gonna get stale in a couple years? Because it's not stale for me now.
I think it might, and like I don't know, there are just some movies like I don't think Zootopia 2 or Bad Guys necessarily need something like that. But if every film was scored by Hans Zimmer, I don't think I'd get old. I don't think that'd get old.
Because he does kids' movies.
Yeah.
He does a hell of a job with Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
He did a hell of a job with the adult movies. I mean, yeah, he's one of the GOATs for a reason. Yeah.
Yep.
And, unfortunately, probably sooner than later, he will be the greatest living composer. I know. How sad is that to say out loud?
Really sad.
He's 88.
Brought us down.
I know. Question for Alex. Oh, wow.
What is it?
This is interesting. It's an interesting question.
Okay.
Question for Alex. If Man of Steel had originally been marketed as an Elseworld story, do you think you would be slightly higher on it? Or do you still think you'd hate it just as much as you do? It's a good question. I think I would be higher on it just because I overall don't have a problem with Injustice.
Sure.
And after Man of Steel did what it did, it was much easier for me to accept that behavior from Henry Cavill's Superman in Batman v Superman.
Sure.
Because you did it, so I've accepted it. This is your universe, whatever. But I think the only way that I would have accepted it is if there was also a Superman. Does that make sense? There would have had to have been, in the same way that we assume that Robert Pattinson's The Batman and the DCU's Batman will exist at the same time. We may be getting The Batman Part 3 at a year after we get Batman the Brave and the Bold from the James Gunn DCU. That's how it would have to be. We would have to have gotten already a good Superman, as we expect we are going to get with David Cornsweet and James Gunn's. That would have to already exist for me to accept a Man of Steel. But at that point, Man of Steel, it's not different enough. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah.
Is James Gunn's last one, The Suicide Squad, a top 10 superhero movie ever? No, probably not, but probably top 20. Let me list some off. that are probably above it for the top 10.
Yeah.
So the Avengers.
Yep.
Across the Spider-Verse into Winter Soldier.
Yep.
No Way Home.
Yep.
Infinity War.
Yep.
Maybe you don't have it, but some of the Tobey movies like Spider-Man 1 and 2. Guardians of the Galaxy is probably above it. Logan. The Dark Knight.
Many X-Men movies. It depends on your cup of tea, whether that's First Class or Days of Future Past or X2. So that's 11.
I'd put Iron Man above it, probably.
I would put Batman Begins ahead of it for sure. I don't know if you mentioned that one.
I did not.
Yeah. So that's 12 we just named. I don't agree with everything you just said. I definitely wouldn't put Iron Man above it. I think I wouldn't put Guardians 1 above it. I don't know, though.
Sure. But I think it's definitely top 15.
I really like the Suicide Squad, though.
Me too.
For me, as of right now, it is a top 3 DC live-action movie.
After The Dark Knight and Batman Begins?
Correct.
Yeah, that's fair.
And for you've in the past, I don't know if you still believe this, you haven't rewatched Batman Begins or The Dark Knight in a while, but I think you've said in the past that it is your favorite live-action DC movie.
Probably. I mean, I need to watch
the
Dark Knight trilogy again.
Yeah, you absolutely do. Maybe that's something that we could do ahead of time before James Gunn's DCU. That would be fun.
I'm down with that.
How was the Phineas and Ferb watch party for the first episode?
It was good. We watched the first 4, I think, 4 or 5.
Did the whole season come
They
out?
dropped 10 on Disney+.
Wow.
And then they're going to do 1 a week on Disney Channel until Disney Channel catches up. And then I think they're releasing like 8 to 10 more. And then that will be the season.
Wow.
Yeah.
How great is that?
So far, I've watched 4 of the 10 episodes of Phineas and Ferb season 5.
Yeah.
They're all great.
Yeah.
They're all great.
I haven't watched any of it yet, but I've seen a lot of clips from Twitter. And it's straight out of 2010. I mean, they just picked it up where they left off.
I mean, I am impressed. I'm blown away by the fact that they've still made it this entertaining while keeping the structure and keeping the same characters. And you think they're going to come back and it's going to be lazy. It wasn't. Obviously, I think the first episode's great. I've already talked about that. But then I really thought they would just kind of taper off, and they didn't. I think they're all fun. I think Trope Face, if y'all know what I'm talking about, I think that whole episode is hilarious. They make a wheel, that one of those things where you like spin it and it like plays an animation, but they made like a huge one, and then like you just watch this. They call it Tropey McTropeface, and it obviously goes away because of something Dr. Doofenshmirtz did, and you just watch this thing roll and like live a life. And like it sees like a Ferris wheel and it like falls in love with the Ferris wheel, and then it like, because of things Dr. Doofenshmirtz is doing and everything, it keeps getting close to the Ferris wheel and then like going away. And then they have Michael Bublé come in and sing like a love song about Tropey McTropeface, and then at the end it's all happy and it's with the Ferris wheel and they have these little babies. It's so fun.
Hilarious.
Every time it got close to the Ferris wheel and then like rolled away, I was like emotionally just like distraught. It was hilarious.
Amazing. Well, shout out Dan Povenmine. Shout out to the team at the new Phineas and
Jeff
Ferb.
Swampy Marsh, everybody. Y'all
Incredible.
Y'all did a great job.
Real quick, I know that we're about to end the episode, but we have been doing this the last couple episodes.
Sure.
We won't be doing this with guests just because it's so involved.
We got some guests coming up, y'all.
Yes, we do.
We got some guests.
Oh.
Lock in.
Most anticipated guest I think we've ever had on the podcast.
Probably.
In terms of like other content creators.
Comments, yeah.
3C Films will be on next week, so you have a lot to look forward to that. Patrons will get early access to the regular episode. We're going to put the regular episode on the Patreon on Thursday, and then this Friday's Patreon episode will also be 3C Films, so the Patreon will get 2 hours of 3C Films guest podcasts
this week.
This week, Thursday, Friday. But then don't worry, if you are not on the Patreon, no problem. You will get the regular 3C Films episode on Monday that you would have already gotten. So that's something to look forward to. Real quick, MCU question of the day. We've been doing this a lot lately. I've been having a lot of fun. Here we go. Other than Hulk, what MCU character has the most wasted potential? In your opinion.
Interesting. Yeah, of course.
I could start while you're thinking.
Yeah, go.
My early answer right now might be Moon Knight.
That's a good one.
Oscar Isaac is a great actor, and there's so many awesome storylines you could have done, and so many interesting stuff, but like literally cutting away from the action and being like, oh, Steven just woke up and he's driving this car and all these people are murdered. It's like, what are we doing? Why did you even make that?
And obviously, not a comics person, but isn't he like a lot funnier and quippier in the comics? Like him going back and forth with Spider-Man. I've seen some of that and everything. And I have a friend who's like a huge Moon Knight guy, and he was hoping for some of that, and yeah, it just kind of fell flat. I mean, a big answer is obviously Kang.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah,
I mean, goodness gracious.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
Are there any other villains that they maybe killed off too quickly, or?
That's a good question. I mean, before Shang-Chi, I would have told you the Mandarin.
Yeah. Iron Man 3. If we had just watched Iron Man 3, that would have been a big answer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but because Shang-Chi's so great, they fixed that. Nice work.
Wenwu's great.
So is Shang-Chi, in my opinion.
In your opinion.
And the movie is great. Yeah.
But obviously Hulk is the number one answer.
I think so.
But I'm going to go with Moon Knight, my answer. I mean, Kang is a great answer for you. But there have to be some characters that we're missing that you guys will let us know in the comments that they just butchered.
Yeah. Let us know.